Right, let's start today's session. So this is the second session of Python. So in the last session, just we discussed introduction to Python. That means what is Python and why Python? What is the what are the applications we can develop using Python? We discussed in the last session and versions of Python. Just basic introduction I have given. So today we'll discuss how to download Python software and install, and how to write Python programming. And for writing Python programs, which editors are required, we'll discuss. See here. So first step you have to do, uh, download Python software and install. So how to download Python software install? I'll tell you now. Now you can see this. Just go to Google and type download Python. Download Python. So now you can see there is official website for Python software, www.python.org. Just you can click on download Python here. Once you click on download Python, you'll be able to see the latest version of Python software, that is Python 3.9.2. Okay, Python 3.9.2. This is the latest version. I'm just clicking on that download Python 3.9.2. Now you got 3.9.2 .exe file. Okay, so once you will get .exe file, so you can open the .exe file, or else you just double click on the .exe file, and it will ask some permission. So how to activate that? I'll tell you what permission it will ask you. So once successfully download Python software, then you can go to download folder now. Okay, these are the steps. It's very simple to install, nothing complex here. So you just go to download folder, here download folder, and Python 3.9.2. It's an executable file for Python. Then double click on it now. So in my computer already the software was there, so I don't want to install again. Just I want to show you steps. It's very simple to install. You can see this already it was there in my computer. That's what it's showing. Upgrade now or customize installation. But in your computer for the first time when we try to install this, we will be able to get two options. What are the two options we'll get? First one is install now, install now, and next one is customized installation. Yes, customized installation, customized installation. Same like install now and customized installation. Two options will come, and you have to select install now. But before going to click on install now, I strongly recommend there is an activation of checkbox. Okay, there is a checkbox below. You have to activate that. That checkbox is called add Python to environment variables. Add Python to environment variables. You have to activate this checkbox. There is a checkbox associated with the text. So you have to activate this checkbox. This activation of checkbox will help to add Python environment variables, means this is path setting. And after that activation of this checkbox, I strongly recommend to click on install now. Don't go for customize installation, just install now. After clicking on install now, just click on next, 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 install it. That's it. Nothing to do in the middle. So just click on install now after activation of checkbox like add Python to environment variables. So after 1 minute or 2 minutes of time, your software will be ready. That's all. So this is the way to install Python software. But the first step you have to do. No matter what editor you are going to use later, that is different issue. First of all, you must and should install Python software. Once if you install Python software like this, you will be able to get a basic editor. Okay, basic editor. That editor name is called IDLE of Python. What editor? IDLE of Python. So integrated development environment. IDLE, integrated development environment. This is the basic editor we'll get once we install Python software. So how to open this basic editor? Okay, and also I would like to show how many ways we can write Python script and we can execute Python script. What are the basic ways? I'll tell you clearly all the ways. But finally, as I said in the last session, so every time in our complete sessions will complete sessions, I'll discuss through PyCharm editor only. There is editor called PyCharm editor. How to install, how to download also I'll say. So first, there are different ways to execute Python code and execute. What are the different ways? I'll show you. First one is using interactive mode. Using interactive mode. Next way is using script mode. Using script mode. Using script mode. Next one is using Python IDLE. Using Python IDLE. Next way is using PyCharm editor. Using PyCharm editor. Editor. Yes, using PyCharm editor. These are the basic ways to write Python script and execute. After showing that, I'll show you other editors also. Like you can use any editor, no matter. But as soon as when we download Python software and install it, so you'll be able to get default editor like IDLE. Okay, so in that IDLE only there is interactive cell or interactive mode only. So how to write code in interactive? Okay, so let's go for interactive mode first. So for this, let's go to search and type IDLE in the search box. Then you'll be able to see this IDLE of Python. So integrated development learning environment. As soon as when we click on this icon after successful installation of Python software, you will be able to get interactive cell. Look at here, interactive cell is coming. This is completely interactive cell. It's opening now. Just wait. So this is interactive cell. So IDLE, yes. Let's click on it. So it's opening interactive cell. Now this is interactive cell, sir. So IDLE cell. Okay. So Python 3.9.1. So 9.2, I'll install it, no problem at all. Now you can see this is what interactive mode only. In interactive mode, what is happening? No need to write complete Python script and no need to save it anywhere separately. As soon as when we type the program and press enter here, then automatically the code is going to be executed. Okay. So if you want to see the basic information about interactive cell, there is a help command is there. Help is nothing but to get help of any object of Python. Okay, if you don't know about string, or if you don't know about list, if you don't know about any data structures or any functions, if you want to get the help from that, then you can use help function. I'll tell you later help function how it will work. And if you want to see the copyright options, then you can see type copyright here, then you can get copyright information. And if you want to go for license information, you can type it here, license information here, license information will got complete about this editor, history of the software and all, everything you can read it clearly. Okay, and let me close this now. So I want to show you something like interactive cell window. Some programs I want to show you how to write the code here. Here you can type, suppose I want to print hello, then you can type it, hello is coming. Here no need to write any print function also. Print is a built-in function which is for uh, output statement, actually output purpose. Suppose I'm writing print function, but actually in interactive cell print function is not required. Directly you can type it in a single code or double code, and print also optional here. Print is just for output function only, output display purpose. Now press enter, you got in output clear. And if you want to add two numbers like a value 10, b value 20, then c equals to a plus b, or c if you want to get result, print a c directly, press enter, you got the result. And as I said that in the last session, Python is dynamically typed programming language. So that's what you don't define, you don't declare any data type of the variable. If you declare forcefully data type of the variable, you will get error. Why? Because according to Python, this is invalid syntax. Yes, a equals to 10, int is invalid. So you should not define any data type. Only the thing is a value, that is. If you want to know the type of a, then you can use type function, integer type. And at the same time, like float type, so I'm just taking type of a, it is a float type. So keep on write the code by typing and press enter, then your output will be ready here. This is called interactive shell. If you want to write a code like this, you can write it, no problem. So this is interactive shell. This is the basic option we have. Once we download Python software and install, so you'll be able to type the code in interactive shell by opening IDLE software. Okay, let me close this. Now there is another option is there. You can see this. So I would like to write in script mode. Script mode means what? Write complete script of Python. How much code you want, you can write it. But make sure that after completion of your script, you must and should save that file with the .py extension. Yes, .py is an extension of Python file. So you must and should save with the .py. Then after that, you just run it. Wherever you want, you can run it. So that is script mode only. For this script mode, and I'll choose as a plain editor like Notepad editor. I'm going to choose. Even you can go for IDLE also. For a change, I would like to show you how to write code in Notepad and how to save with the .py, how to run that script later in each editor, IDLE or command prompt through. I can show you. So I'm going to show you using script mode. For this purpose, I'm just opening Notepad here. This is just Notepad. It is also editor. Even you can type Python script in Notepad also. But it is typical to us because those who don't know basics of Python and basic syntax of Python, so they'll face a lot of problems while writing code in Notepad script. So because some indentation problems, okay, syntactical mistakes will happen through this is a Notepad editor. So that's what initial stage I'll not recommend to write code in Notepad. If you want, you can write it if you know already the syntax of Python. So I can write it. But let me write some code here in Notepad. Suppose I'm just writing only simple line print, print, print. So I'm just taking that is welcome to Durga shop. Welcome to Durga shop. This is what text. Welcome to Durga shop. This is a print function. So after completion of writing your script, you must and should save. Let me save this file menu and click on save. And how to save this with .py extension. I'm saving with .py extension. Let me choose a desktop for easy way to access. I'm selecting desktop, and after that you can give the file name. File name is any name you can give. For example, sample.py I'm giving. Py is an extension of Python file. You must and should give .py extension. And look at here sample.py. And once you click on save, so your desktop is having that Python file. You'll be able to see this in desktop. This is a Python logo is available. So sample.py, your script file is ready to execute. But after writing script and after saving with .py extension, later you can write it, you can run it anywhere. Either you can use IDLE software to execute this script, or else you can go through command prompt also. Both we can work. I'll show you both the ways. Okay. First way, I'll show you this how to open with IDLE software because already we have IDLE. So let's open to IDLE. So IDLE of software. Now you can see as soon as when we click on IDLE, you'll be able to get interactive window. Here you can type it and enter it and you will get your output clearly. But I don't want to type my code here because already I have available script with me. So I would like to open that. So how to open that by going to file option and you just click on open option. Once you click on open, it will ask you to select the file where it is located. So you can go to desktop option and in desktop there is a file called sample.py. Select this file and open it. Once you open what we have written previously, that's come under the notepad script only. After that, if you want to run this, just run menu and click on run module. Okay, look at here, run module, or else you can press F5 from shortcut key like now welcome to Durga software. It's available. So this is the way to prepare your script and save with the .py and open into IDLE software. Or else there is another option. Same script file, sample.py. If you tell you want to run through command prompt, it is also possible. Let's open command prompt. Command prompt means it is normal Windows operating system command prompt. Let's skip to command prompt. Command. So in this command prompt, my file is located in where? Desktop. So I have to move to desktop location. CD space desktop. Change directory, that is. I'm changing my directory CD space desktop, sir. Okay. So CD space desktop. After that, moving to desktop, my file is sample.py. So this is what type of file? Python file. So that's what you have to pass a command like Python space. Your file name is what, sir? Sample dot, what is the extension? Py. So Python space sample.py, then press enter. As soon as when we enter, so you got an output clearly. Welcome to Durgasoft. You'll get output, just wait. Python space sample.py. So we got welcome to Durgasoft output. So this is the way to execute code in command prompt. Or else you can go through like py space sample.py. This is also possible. Py space sample.py. Then press enter. We got an output. Welcome to Durgasoft again. Py space sample.py. Both are working fine, sir. Okay. So this is the way to execute the code after writing code in Notepad editor, like script mode. So you have to prepare your script, how much code you want, you can write, but save with .py extension and run it in anywhere, like using Python ideally, or else using a command prompt. This is one option we have. So there is options are there clearly. What way you want, you can go it. So interactive mode is there, script mode is there, and directly without depending on Notepad, why don't we go and create a new file in IDLE also? Yes, it's possible using Python IDLE. Let's flip to IDLE software again, once again. But here, as soon as when we flip to IDLE software, you'll be able to see this interactive cell. But I don't want to write code in interactive cell, sir. I want to prepare a new file here. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. Now you can see file, and I'm just creating a new file here. Same like Notepad editor, only it will come. Here you can write it whatever the code you want. Just I'm typing C equals to, and you can type it like this. Sum is, sum is C. That's all. So after typing your code, you must and should save. Without saving, if you run this like run module, then it will not allow you. You can see this, it is showing no, just wait. Someone is asking question. Let me complete it. Without saving, you cannot proceed it. Let's save this now. I have to save this now. File menu and click on save. Click on save. Click on save. And again, I have to save that into my desktop. Let me choose the desktop option. Desktop option. Now you can see file name is I'm giving test.py again. Then click on save. After saving, just run this one. Run module. We got this output clearly in the interactive shell only. Just wait, it will get output here. Yes. Now the question is coming from Mr. Bharat. Now you can see we got the sum is 500. It's clear. Okay. Yes. The question is coming from Mr. Bharat. What is hi sir? Sorry to interrupt. How we are able to execute this in CMD or any tool? Yes, because of we have installed already Python software. While installation of Python software only, I have connected, I have added some path to our operating system, because just now I have shown that clearly. While installation, you have to activate the checkbox, add Python to environment variables, then automatically it will mapping to the operating system location. So it will be execute Python commands. Okay, so CMD command prompt you can execute, or any tool also you can able to execute. So Python is open source, it is. Okay, it is cross-platform. Anywhere you can use, anywhere you can write it, no problem at all. So only the thing is Python software is required. Okay, you are saving with .py extension. No, py extension file will be loaded into command prompt, because already we installed Python software which is associated with operating system. And also you can load that py file into IDLE also. IDLE will accept always py files only. So it's very simple to execute. Now interactive cell and script mode and Python IDLE. So directly also you can use Python IDLE. But I am saying that in my sessions, I am not going to write code in Python IDLE as well as script mode as well as interactive cell. No way. Okay, so I always write code using PyCharm editor. I'm saying that this is the powerful editor for exclusively Python developers using PyCharm editor. It's a most powerful editor and popular editor also this is. But I'll go through this all sessions, complete sessions. I'll go through this PyCharm editor only. Yeah, one more question is coming. Seems like I have already installed Python, which is previous. Is that okay? Yes, undoubtedly it's okay. No problem. If you want to update one, you can do it, uninstall and install it latest one. No problem. It's not much more difference. Okay, happily you can able to do this. Difference is not that, because option is open. Okay, so difference is I'm saying that in interactive cell, no need to write Python script completely. Just write your script and press enter button, then automatically individual lines will execute. Okay, yes, you can write it, no problem at all. See, yesterday I told you that clearly Python is an interpreted programming language. That makes sense. What line by line code will check and execute. So in interactive cell, what is happening? You can see this. Let me open ideally. This is interactive cell only, no? So in this interactive cell, what's happening here? Whatever you entered the first line, automatically it executed. Now you can say equals to 10, then it's executed directly. A value print. That's it. It is executed. And you can say hello, then press enter, automatically executed, and it's showing the result clearly. So line by line code will execute here interactive cell. But sir, later I need to prepare my total script and save it somewhere. Okay, then after that I would like to execute means then you can go for notepad or any script mode option. You can write it as much as code and save with .py and load it later whenever it is required. And that script is already saved file. So whenever it is required, you can load it again and again repeatedly in script mode. Or else you can use directly Python IDLE software also while creating files. All the modes are same. See, the thing is, suppose Java programming language is there. Any tools, Java programming language is there. Java programs can be written. Some people will use Edit Plus, some people will use Notepad, somebody will use NetBeans, Eclipse. Their comfortability. That's it. Even .NET code also they might be right in Edit Plus, Notepad, any editor. Even I am saying that what are the possible ways to write Python script? That is your wish. Where you want to write Python script and execute, then you can write it. So not only this, these are the basic ways I'm saying. Still, the people will use Python script purpose. They'll use Notepad editor. Okay, Notepad plus plus, then Sublime editor, Sublime editor, and NetBeans. Yes, they'll also use NetBeans and Edit Plus, Edit Plus, Edit Plus, and VS Code, Visual Studio Code, and somebody will use Jupyter Notebook. So Jupyter Notebook and Anaconda 3 distribution. Lot of editors are there. These are all open editors. Editor is just the thing, but it's a platform where we can write our code and how we can execute the code. That is only platform. One environment is required. Okay, but mostly purely Java editors are Edit Plus, NetBeans, Eclipse, and so on. Purely .NET editors are Visual Studio. Like purely Python editors, I'm saying PyCharm editor or Python ideally, I'm saying it's purely for Python. Okay, so PyCharm is the best editor for Python beginners, I can say that, because there is a most convenient way to write a program is possible with PyCharm editor. Even either you can go for interactive shell or script mode or Python ideally also. But just for idea I'm showing, but I'll not follow this anyone. So I'll follow this PyCharm editor. But how we can get PyCharm editor, sir? It's a powerful editor. Even in real time also, most of them will recommend to use PyCharm editor only to write Python programs. Okay, yes. See, PyCharm editor I'm trying to download and install. And once you download Python software and install, then along with that PyCharm editor will not come. PyCharm editor separately how to download and install. But make sure that before going to directly PyCharm editor software installation, I strongly recommend to install Python software first, because core libraries will come from Python software only. So you have to finish that Python software installation. Then after, choose any editor. Anyone you can go it, no problem. Wherever you want, you can write it. But I want to write code in PyCharm editor. So let's go and check out how to download and install PyCharm software. So again, just go to Google and type download PyCharm. Download PyCharm. Download PyCharm. That's it. So now you can see PyCharm editor is completely designed and developed by a community called JetBrains community. So there is official website www.jetbrains.com. So now you can see, click on this link first. Once you click on this link, what will happen, you can see. So there are two options are there in front of you. This is professional as well as community. I'll strongly recommend to download this community version. Why? Because we are into pure Python development. We are not into web development. As I said in the last session, this session is purely for core and advanced Python. So you'll become a good programmer after completion of these sessions. Only I'll teach you Python programming things from basic levels to high level programming. I'll not cover Django and all. Django is a separate tool that is a web development framework. Look at here, professional PyCharm editor is there, community PyCharm editor is there. So professional means for both scientific and web Python development. Web Python development means Django applications only with HTML, JavaScript, and SQL support. But look at here download option is there, but free trial version. It's a trial. It's not completely. You have to hardly 1 month time you can able to use it. After that, your software evolution period will be expired, and you have to purchase it from jetbrains.com. This professional editor you want. But I'll go for community editor. It is for purely Python development only. It's completely open source, free and open source. Just click on download it, completely version. So you'll be able to get PyCharm community.exe. Okay, it's around 349, 350 MB is there. So after completion of downloading this PyCharm community.exe file, as usual, go to download folder, double click on PyCharm community.exe. 3 times it will ask you to next, install it. Nothing to do in the middle. No need to worry about this installation of software. It's very simple to install. Okay, so download PyCharm community.exe, and after successful download, go to download folder and double click on that PyCharm community.exe. It will ask you to next. 3 times next. Don't change in the middle anything options. So directly next, install it. Once you install, it will take maximum 1 or 2 minutes. Uh, Within the less than 2 minutes of time, your PyCharm editor software is ready, and you can able to start writing programs in PyCharm editor also. It's very simple. It's not a big deal actually. So making Python setup and installation of software, okay, downloading software, it's not a big deal. It's simple thing. It within 2 minutes or 5 minutes time you can able to ready with your software, including PyCharm, including Python editor. Okay, so after completion of downloading this PyCharm community version, I'll show you just while double click on .exe. Even in my computer already PyCharm community version also there. I don't want to proceed to continuation. Just I want to show you for your purpose uh, how it will be PyCharm community.exe, and what options will be available for the first time when we download and install. Okay, yes, let it be finished. It's going to be finished now, almost done. After completion of this PyCharm community.exe completely downloaded, then you can go to download folder here. Let me go for download folder. Yes, let's close this, and I'm just going to download folder now. There will be PyCharm community.exe file is there. You just see this. While visiting download folder, you can see PyCharm community 2020.3.3. Double click on it immediately. Once you double click on it, you'll be able to get these options. Here, no need to do any changing. Okay, no need to do any changes. Don't do any changes. Directly just next, install it. That's it. So it will ask you to save changes. I'm saying that no, because already in my computer PyCharm edition is there. Like this it will come wizard manner. So welcome to PyCharm community edition step. Next, install. 3 or 4 times it will ask next, install it. That's it. Just wait for 2 minutes. After clicking on install, your PyCharm editor is ready. But after completion of PyCharm editor, how to open SAR? Yes, it's very simple. While going to search option, type PyCharm, then you can see this. There is a PyCharm Community Edition 2020. This is the icon will be there. You just click on it. But in my computer, as soon as when I click on it, okay, yes, let's take the question from anything to check, sir. I see update path variable and launchers directory path update content menu and open folder project create. Yeah, I'll show you all the things completely, no problem at all. Okay, yes. This is complete editor. No, you can create a folder, you can create a project, you can add files. Everything is there in one location in PyCharm editor. That's what I can recommend for Python beginners. Basically, this editor only. Once you got an idea about Python syntax and rules and regulations, then later you can choose any normal editors also. There you can able to write comfortably. But first initial stage, I'll not recommend to write a Python script in Notepad because there is a lot of syntactical mistakes will happen. So that's what I'll not encourage to do that. So yes, now you can see as soon as when I click on PyCharm editor in my computer, previously whatever I have written code in that project only is going to open now. Okay, but in your computer it will not open. So it's a blank window will open in your computer. But how to create project, I'll tell you now. So after opening this, in PyCharm editor, you should create your project with proper name. Project is nothing but its application name. Project is nothing but it's a folder. In that folder, you can add as many as Python files. How many files you want, you can keep on add and execute. So later you can open that same project only along with your existing files. Which file you want to execute, that file you can able to execute clearly here. Okay. So by default, this is outlook of PyCharm editor, sir. Here I need to show you how to create a new project, sir. Here, first of all, first step we have to do new project creation is how to create new project. Simple. While going to file menu, let's click on file menu here. Just wait, it is going to show you. Yeah, scanning of indexes. It's okay. Now you can see I'm just click on file menu, and after that you have to
Sir,
choose what, sir?
one question, sir.
Tell
So,
me.
like you checked the box, right, for the Python software. Like, ideally, like, we checked like
Hmm.
update path variable. So, do we need to check box anything for this PyCharm, or we don't need to
No,
check
no,
box anything?
no need to do. That's what I'm saying. Nothing to do in the middle. Just next install. Even it will allow you to activate checkbox. Ignore it, please.
Okay, thank
Yeah. Now you can see file menu is there. I want to create a new project here. File menu. After that, you can see click on new project. Once I click on new project, it will ask you to create a new project with proper name. So you can select the location, any drive, and I'm selecting this Python project at 7:30. Okay, AM. It's my project name. Python project at 7:30 AM. This is my project name. After that, you can see just click on create. Okay, click on create. So automatically Python location and virtual environment will be create, no problem. Just click on create. Once I create, now it will ask you this window or new window or attach or cancel. This window means I want to open that new project into this window only. New window means it will open into new window. Attach means the same project will be attached to this project also, but I don't want to attach. Just go over, click on this window only. Yes. After creating new project in PyCharm editor, you will be able to get the this look and feel like creating virtual environment. So it takes few seconds to create virtual environment for new project. Once you create a new project, so you will be able to get one default program, that is main program. Okay. Later you can add as many as Python files into your project and you can run and execute. I'll show you how to write Python script in PyCharm editor and how to run it, how to add many programs into this Python project. I'll tell you, just wait. So it takes time to creating virtual environment. Once virtual environment is ready, then it will allow you to create a new files into this project. By default, the look and feel will be this only PyCharm editor. But if you want to change some settings according to your view, like themes, background color of editor or font option, font size, that you can change it. I'll show you how to change in PyCharm editor all options. Let it be create virtual environment. Another question is coming. Yes. Downloaded 3.9.2 while installing install launcher for all users recommended. Already checked that. This is unchecked. No checkbox for Python 2. No checkbox. You can proceed it if it is no checkbox is available. Actually, you have to open that 3.9.2. Yes. Yeah, no problem. You can continue with that, sir. You can continue that. What will happen later? Let me know that. So you're saying that it's already there. Okay. It's okay. You can continue that. No difference between Ideally and PyCharm. Both are editors only. Okay. Both are editors only. But the difference is whenever we write code in IDLE software, there are some IntelliSense. IntelliSense means while writing program in using Python, some suggestion box, some GUI graphical user interface options will come, but that options will not be there in IDLE. But in PyCharmmeter, clearly the options are available. You will see this how it is different. Okay, yes. Now you can see after creating virtual environment, observe here by default one main file is coming, main.py. So if you want to execute this main.py directly, you can run it by going to run menu. Just there is a run menu is there and run main. That's it, run main. Once you run this, you got an output here in the output window below corner. Hi PyCharm. How it come? Because they have written already just for sample code main function if underscore underscore name equal to main. This is the main method and print hi PyCharm they have written. So this is main.py just for sample file. You can ignore it this file. If you want, yes, predefined option will be there in ideally. No, that's what I'm saying. All user has to define everything. So syntactically they should take care of that. But in PyCharm editor, yes, it's predefined options are there. Then we can able to get that some highlight box also. Let me write the code and let me complete so that you'll understand that. Okay. So now you can see this is my project is ready. Python project at 7:30 a.m. This is my project name. So how to add a new file to this project except main file? Okay, to add a new file, right click on this Python project at 7:30 a.m. and go to new option. And there are two options are there. File option is there and Python file is there. Remaining options also there that are not selecting the file, creating package, creating directory. Later we'll discuss. But here two options are which one I should go, file or Python file. Yes, both you can go it. So if it's choose file, you must and should give the extension .py because it's a plain text file only. And if you go for Python file, no need to give any extension .py. That is only difference. I'm just selecting Python file. I'm giving my file name is test. I'm not giving any .py. By default, it will be .py only. You have selected Python file only. Press enter button. Automatically, you can see test.py file is created. Once we got test.py file, now you can see as soon as when we try to type some printer, so you can see this is IntelliSense. So what programmer is typing, something will be available here. Already suggestion box is coming. These options will not come in ideally. Even you can go and type it in ideally software. Is there any IntelliSense? No. Look at here. I'm just typing again print here, print here. I want to say hello. I want to say hello. Then after completion of writing this code, how to execute this file. So on this tab, which file you want to execute on this file tab, test.py, right click on it and just run test. You'll be able to get an output here in the bottom corner. This is console window or output window. Or if you do any mistake also, for example, I'm not closing bracket properly, then after that, let run this one. Error, how it will show in the red color, you can see this is the syntax error. Unexpected end of file while pausing. You have to rectify this issue like this. And even you can go to run and run test also here. This is the way to execute here. Okay, even if you declare one variable, for example, I'll try to show you. I'm just declaring one variable a value 100. I want to print a. Now you can see print a. If I type, then it is showing in IntelliSense already a, which is already declared. So that's what it's coming in IntelliSense, and that's press enter. But this IntelliSense option should not be there in ideally software. There you have to it will not show in which line it is error. So you can see this. I'm just giving the error here. Let's run this one. What is the syntax error? You can see line number 3, it's clearly so. Line number 3, it's there. So line number 3, this means line number 3 is not at all there. But how it is line number 3? Because it's going to be a print option. This is line number 1, line number 2. Next it is going to be here only indentation is there. Here it is going to be considered line number 3. There is an error. If I'm going this one, so this is line number 3. After that, you cannot move. Here only we got error. So you can't go for line number 3 here. So you can able to get it clear. And after that, run this one. You got an output clear. But let's go and ideally and check it. Even though when I declare here, even if I'm typing print, is there any IntelliSense is coming? No. You have to take care everything syntactical mistakes and all. Even if I declare a value 10 and when I try to print a, that a is not coming here. Nowhere it is showing. This is the difference actually, key difference, main difference. So you can see debugging facilities also will be easy in PyCharm editor. So okay, so while declaring the variable, when you're creating new file, it created automatically in the root of virtual. Yes, undoubtedly. Yes, undoubtedly, because we are in this project only. No, once we create a project, how many files you are creating, that many under comes into this root project only. Later you can open it, and that all same files are available. So it's going to be run anytime. Okay, so this is what PyCharm editor execution process. A value 100 print A like this. We got that automatically. If I declare A, then there is an IntelliSense option. A is already decided. That's what it's coming. So Python is case sensitive. I said no. If I try to A, so it is undefined, means not defined. Error is coming. Name A is not defined. So print A, capital A. You have declared small a variable, but you are trying to access into capital A. This is not work out. So this is PyCharm editor. Sir, if I want to go for some changes like background theme, I want to change or set font size increment or decrement, I want to do in PyCharm editor. How to do this? Yes, let's go to file menu. And after that, here settings option is there. You can see this settings option. And after that, you'll be able to see this left hand side appearance will be there. Appearance. There is an intelligent light is there. This is the appearance and theme appearance. If you want to go for Windows 10 Lite or Dracula or high contrast, you can select. Let's go for Dracula. And if you want to change the font size, you can go to editor option in the left hand side panel. Then you can choose font option. And there is a font size will be there, increment or decrement, line space, and fallback font. Anything you can able to do. I want to decrement to this 15 font. Let's click on apply, click on OK. Then you can see it's changed. So total theme is changing. If you want, you can write it like this, or else let it be same only for looking. Now let's go to settings option. And again, I'm adjusting appearance and behavior and appearance option and changing the font for IntelliJ Light only. And font option also, I'm just checking 22 I'm giving. This is what changing the settings of PyCharm editor here. Okay, these are the options are there. These are the basic ways to execute code. Either you can go for interactive mode, or you can go for writing code in script mode, Notepad editor, or Python ideally, or using PyCharm editor. But for sure that our all sessions will happen with PyCharm editor only from now onwards. But just for getting an idea, just one time you can try with interactive script mode and ideally also and PyCharm editor. Finally, you can fix it. And even in coming sessions also, as I said, that data analysis modules like Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib. For that, I'll introduce a new editor like Jupyter Notebook, because Jupyter Notebook is a most popular editor for data science modules. It doesn't mean that data science modules will not possible to write code in PyCharm editor. Yes, everything is possible in PyCharm editor. Only the thing is additional libraries you have to install explicitly in PyCharm editor, like data science modules. But when we go for Jupyter Notebook, no need to install that additional modules. Directly it will come over there. Okay. Even you can write code in Edit Plus, Notepad, any other editor also. But that's not purely for Python. This is completely purely for Python. So this is what PyCharm editor setup and writing the code. If you want to add more files, you can add it, no problem. Like this, right click and go to new and Python file. Again, I'm writing test1. Test1 is there, and type something here. So you can able to execute. Right click on it and run test1. So we got an output clearly here. Okay. Yes. Now I will tell you why I'll not recommend to write a code in Notepad editor. What is the problem, sir? So let's say there are 2 lines of code in one file. Can we select and run one line? No. You can see this. You are asking like this only. No, yes, I understand that. So this is, I can say that. So this is total file is there. You mean to say that when we execute this, is it going to be select only one? No. If I'm selecting this one, now you can see when I'm going to execute this one, what will happen, sir? Total code is running. It's not possible. Okay, it's not possible. If you want only one line you can comment it. Now comment symbol this is. Let's run this one. That is different issue. Comment section. How much code it is required, that much how much code is available in one file, that total code will be executed. But if you don't want to execute some of the code, you can put in comment section. Okay, this is single line comment, we can say. Yes, there is a comment section is there. I'll tell you later in coming session how to write comment section here clearly. Yes, we can ignore using comments only. And if you want to ignore all lines, for example, we have a lot of lines of code is there. So there is single line comment and multi-line comment also there. So when we go for this one, what will happen? Except all lines will be executed. Okay, all lines will be executed. But if you don't want to execute these all lines, so how I can show multi-line comments is there. Multi-line comments means what? Starting with triple single quotes, ending with the triple single quotes. In between whatever the lines we have given, that lines under comes into comments. So it won't execute. Comment is nothing but description about your program also. You can ignore these lines. Okay, this is the problem. See, the thing is, why I'll not recommend to write code in Notepad. Let me write some code in Notepad. Okay, yes. So simple code I'm writing. Just for if condition purpose, a equals to 10. If a equals to 10, just comparison. Printer true. This is okay. Else, else. Printer false. Print false. This is Python script, sir. Don't worry about this syntax. If condition, else condition, this colon compulsory. Compared to other languages, syntax is different. I'll explain you later syntax. My intention is not for explaining if else part. My intention is to show the indentation part. Why I'll not recommend to write code in Python later. So if I write code it's looking correct only. Because a equals to 10, I initialize value 10 to a variable a, and I'm just checking that if a equals 10, 10 equals in comparison. If it is comparison is done correctly, then I should display true. Otherwise, I should display else false only. Let's save it one. Okay, I'm saving in my desktop, and let's save it. What we can say sample1.py. Sample is already there. Sample1.py. Click on save it. But even though if you write correctly, then you can see this when we go for ideally or else command prompt. Anyways, it will give errors. Look at here. What it will give error? CD space desktop I'm saying, and sample Python code I'm running. Just Python space sample1.py. Then press enter. You got what? Error. Yes. Expected an indented block. This is the problem. Why, sir? It is very clear. No, so it's not clear. Expected an indented block means what? Yes, while writing code in Notepad, okay, if you write like this, automatically when we press enter button here, cursor is blinking in the starting of the line only. But as usual, programmer should start from here only. But it's not correct. So why it's not correct? Because to consider a block of code in other languages, generally we use what's our curly brackets, open curly brackets and close curly brackets like this. Here you can see open curly brackets and close curly brackets. But in Python, to consider a block of code, we use indentation. Indentation means 4 spaces is required. So here I'm giving 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4. And here also 1, 2, 3, 4. Press Control S for saving. I saved that. Now we can run this. It will execute properly. You can see this Python space sample1.py. Then we got true because as per our condition, it's true. A value 10. 10 equal 10, it's correct. That's what it's coming to here. If 10 is not correct, then you can see else block it will go. I'm just giving my values 100, Control S, and let this run again. So Python space sample1.py, then it is false. It's working fine or not? Yes. Why it is working now? Because you clearly mention indentation part. Indentation means in Python script to consider a block of code, instead of open curly brackets, close curly brackets, you have to give some space. Indentation space is there. But by default in Notepad editor, indentation will not allow. Means you have to take care as a programmer. You should know already where indentation is required, where not. That's what it is difficult to write a program in Notepad. But same code, let us write in PyCharm editor. What will happen? You can see this. I'm writing same code. Okay, A equals to 100. If a equals to 100, press enter. As soon as when we press enter, where's the cursor is blinking, sir? Why space is required means to consider a block. See, if I'm not considering the block of code, what will happen? These two lines are individual statements it will consider. Okay, this statement is not under comes into if block consideration. This statement not comes under else block consideration. So these are individual lines only. Yes, that's what. reading the code and Notepad and PyChartmeter is completely, because PyChartmeter is exclusively written for Python program. So you have to take care as a programmer. Here it will give error because no code is available under the if block. That mean to say, if I give at least one space or more spaces, 4 spaces by default actually, then it will consider a block of code is there. If block is having code, that means what? If condition is true, then what code should I execute? This code I should execute. If condition is false, then what code I should execute? Else block code I should execute. So that's what I'm saying. But this option, by default, indentation options will not be available in Notepad. But you can see this as soon as when we press enter button, automatically in PyChartmeter, it is leaving spaces. From there, I have to type it. That makes sense. It is showing clearly indentation levels. So while writing code in PyChartmeter, so you will not get any confused. Directly can run it. Now you can see this. We got an output true because my condition is true. Even though here also you can go back to previous like this. You can see if you don't want to give indentation, it will give error here also. Indentation errors are coming. Expected and indented block means at least one space is required, sir. Not all 4 spaces. But why I'm saying 4 spaces indentation means by default the editor will give 4 spaces only. That's what I'm taking for. At least one space is required. If you give one space, this print statement belongs to if block. This print statement belongs to else block. If I'm not giving space, what will happen? This if block don't have any statement. That is the meaning. Okay, hope you understand this. This is the problem you will get while writing code in Notepad. So that's what I can say you. Once you got an idea, proper idea about syntax of Python and how to write and what are the rules and regulations, fundamental rules and regulations, then you can write it anywhere, no problem at all. No problem at all. Okay, yes. So now can you tell me, like use after 100 else? Else. Else block I'm using. So else block means, I'll tell you this. If else condition, why it is required. If is generally used to test a specific condition. If condition is true, then it will come to under if block. If condition is false, then it will come to else block only.
No, no, sir. My question was like after a equal to 100, you used a semicolon, right? Like, so.
Semicolon is the syntax of Python actually.
Okay, so
It's
that you
according
will tell later, right? That
yeah,
where to
we
use
have
the
it.
semicolon.
Yeah. According to Python syntaxes, later I'll come across. Just for indentation purpose, I took this an example. So later we have a control statement options are there. If condition, else condition, nested if, if, for loop, while loop, all those things will cover. This is Python syntax. If I remove this one, you can see syntactically it is wrong. Syntax error, invalid syntax, compulsory colon is required. Then it will write.
Okay.
Yeah, this is called block code. Yes, code block of the code. So this is if block code and this is else block code. Generally in other languages, people use what actually this they will use another language code like this only. Int a equals to 10. If brackets a equals to 10, close bracket, open bracket, close bracket again, they'll write here print. So to consider the block of code in other language, people will use curly brackets. But in Python, they'll use indentation instead of curly brackets. That is only difference you have to observe. This is other code, other language code. It will work in C, C++, Java, C#, .NET anyway. It is a syntax of their languages. But when it comes to Python, no curly brackets. So only the indentations are required. Indentation means white spaces. At least one white space is required, but by default, editor will take what's are 4 white spaces here. That's what I'm taking. Python indentation is 4 white spaces. It will work fine. Look at here, just it is working now. And one more question from Mr. Naresh. If we are adding too many comment lines, description, will it impact efficiency due to addition of lines even though they are not executing? Nothing will impact. Comment in the sense you are asking to the interpreter to ignore these lines. They will not consider addition of execution. You can write as much as lines you can description, no problem at all. That will not impact. You are not allowing to execute that code, no, how it will impact. So it is not. How much lines you want to ignore, you can ignore it by keeping comment section only. Okay, so this is overall editor platforms. Wherever you want, you can write it, you can execute it. So these are the different ways to execute Python script. So basic ways like interactive cell, ideally Notepad, write a code in Notepad and execute in command prompt or ideally software. And finally, we can go through PyCharm editor. So from now onwards, I can go through PyCharm editor only, continuation. So all sessions will be happen through PyCharm editor only. This is very simple and easy to manage the things, and look and feel also good, and graphically it's good to manage the code. If you want, you can go through anyways, no problem. That is your wish. Okay. So that's all about today's sessions. You have any questions, and feel free to ask me now. From tomorrow onwards, we'll continue this PyCharm editor onwards. We'll go for basics, fundamental things like indentation, how it is, and comment section, how identifiers means what, variables means what. Very basics onwards, I'll start that. A compiler means compilation of the code, but here it is not compiler. The interpreter only will compile the code only. Explicitly, we will not compile any program. As I said in the last session, Python is interpreter based language. So interpreter will itself, it will compile internally. You need not to do compilation. Compilation means cross verifying the program if any errors are there or not before going to execute. Any codes, any questions, sir? WhatsApp group, yeah, we can make it whatever you have interested candidates, then I'll create a group so that you can have the interactions. Any doubts, you can post your doubts and I'll give the answers. No matter, that is not an issue. Once make a form, a batch, then after that we'll see that. Okay. Once registrations have completed, then we'll try to create a group. So we'll keep in touch with all people. Then that sharing the information, it's very important. Any doubts, you can post your doubts to group also, and we'll interact with each other. No problem, not an issue, that is. Yeah. Can we debug the code? Yes, we can debug the code line by line also. I'll show you everything. Okay, don't worry that. Okay, you're asking at a time all everything. I can't show you. No, step by step there is a process actually. I need to inject slowly. No, so this is what we can say. At one day I cannot able to disclose complete information. Slowly I need to inject to you so that you have to try to practice that slowly. So within 2 or 3 days, once you started practice, you will be able to feel comfortable with Python script. It's not a big deal. You will get complete information, no matter it is. From the basics to high level approachment till I'll discuss everything. No hurry. Yes. You can leave it to me. Subject wise, you can leave it to me. You will never disappoint for sure that. At the end of the day, you will never disappoint. That much confidence I can give. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Thanks for attending, guys. So see you tomorrow at same time on same link. Okay. Yes. So, and one more thing, this course duration is 45 days to 50 days are required, and every day the session is going to be recorded, and same recorded video I will send to your Google Drive only after completion of class. Once you registration completed with us, and for registration, please contact the Durga Software people. They will assist you how to register. And once you registration complete, then only I'll get your mail IDs from Durga Soft. From there onwards, you will receive that all videos from the beginning onwards, session 1, session 2, session 3, and so on. So session numbers I'll give clearly. You can keep it in your folder, and along with soft copy of material also. Okay. And sessions will happen from every Monday to Saturday. Only Sunday is the holiday. This is about session information. Okay. Yes. So any questions, you can feel free to ask me through chat box or open your mics and speak with me also. No problem. Yes. And if you want to see, if you want to watch my last session video yesterday, which I started, so you can visit Durgasoft YouTube channel. Okay. So they'll post only few demo sessions, only 1 or 2 sessions. Don't expect all sessions from there. Okay. So I'm going to assist you, those who are new to this session. So you can watch my first session yesterday, what we have covered, that is introduction to Python. So Durgasoft YouTube channel, you can visit Durga Software Solution, and there is a playlist also there, or else videos also there. You can go to playlist option, and now you can see there is a My playlist is, I think so, it's available. Yesterday they posted one video, and today this video also they'll post. Now you can see this Python tutorials by Mohammed at 7:30 a.m. IST. So you can play it clearly. One video which is available. Last session what we discussed, and today video also they might be upload here. One or two videos, 3 to 4 videos they'll upload for promotional purpose. Okay, not all videos. You can watch it. Those who missed yesterday's session, even once your registration complete, you will get that video also. Okay, from beginning onwards, I'll send all recording videos to you. So that's it for today from my side. So we'll continue tomorrow with clear step-by-step options. Okay, yes. And I request you to start download and make ready with your software so that everyday practice is better. Okay, yes. No changes, undoubtedly. Even if you ask me to change also, I will not agree because I have a lot of hectic schedule. For every 1 hour I have a session, I can't able to do that. It's not possible. Don't expect from me. Okay, if you have any timing issues, you can go for other batches, even other faculty also. But my case, I will not change the timings. Once fixed 7:30 means 7:30 and 8:30 close. It's not possible for me actually to change because before 1 hour after this class, I have continuation classes also there. So I can't able to do. Okay, if you have any, this time is not suitable to you, then you can go for other batch or other faculty. That's better because my side I can't change it. It's continuation till the end. This time only I'll maintain. No changes. Yeah. So yeah, I'm leaving now. Thanks for attending. So see you tomorrow at same time on same link. Have a nice time.